The UK is currently hosting a state visit for French President Emmanuel Macron. Now, Macron is generally hated by most of the French population. He's also a lame duck. He's got 2 years left in office and he can't run in the next election. That being said, when he's compared to our Prime Minister Keir Starmer, he looks amazing. The latest approval ratings put the Labour government at -67, the lowest rating of any British government since records began, and they managed to do all that in just 1 year. But the point of this video is I believe that both the French and the British governments are manipulating the language they use when talking about the biggest issue in politics throughout Europe and the UK, illegal immigration, in an attempt to gaslight their own citizens. Coming up is a clip of His Majesty King Charles III reading part of a speech written allegedly by members of the Labour government. Listen for the word that's been changed.
Our security services and police will go further still to protect us against the profound challenges of terrorism, organised crime, cyber attacks, and, of course, irregular migration across the English Channel.
Irregular immigration. Not illegal immigration, irregular. It's not that irregular, it happens every fucking day. But I think the idea is that by toning down the language, it will then appear to reduce the severity of the problem. The problem being that every day hundreds, if not thousands of people turn up in this country illegally. It may be they're here on a visa and when it expires, suddenly they need to claim asylum. You've got the old school boys coming across in the backs of lorries, and every day, weather permitting, hundreds of fighting-age young men coming across the channel in small boats. Since Labour came to office, it's almost 44,000 people that have come across the channel in that manner. Now, I'll try and be nice. Let's say that some of those people are women and children, although mostly they're not. So let's say it's just 30,000 young military-age men. If 30,000 men turned up at once, that would be an invasion. That's what this is. Why are the UK being so fucking nice? Let's hear Macron using the same phrase.
For human life. France and the United Kingdom have a shared responsibility to address irregular migration with humanity.
For decades, there has been the issue of young men from either sub-Saharan Africa or very, very backward Islamic countries trying to get to the UK illegally because we're the soft touch of the world. And for all of those decades, the French have done very little to stop them because once they leave their coastline, they are no longer their problem. I think most of the blame lies with successive British governments because when these people arrive illegally, they're not put into detention centres or prison cells. No, they're given rooms in luxury hotels, they're given brand new iPhones, spending money, 3 meals a day, driving lessons and all the young girls they can molest. And for years, the British have given the French money to stop the small boats, which would be in France's interest because if the people trying to get to the UK knew there was no way that they were going to get here illegally, they probably wouldn't bother going to France in the first place. Anyway, next is a clip of the most expensive Stanley knife in the world.
Okay, they're slicing it. They're coming in to slice the boat now. The police have come in to slice the boat. Look at that guy's furious. Okay.
That knife cost £770 million because that's how much the British government have given the French to stop the small boats. And that's the first time anyone's seen them do anything. A man bravely running into 3 feet of water to take on the might of an inflatable dinghy. What have the French authorities actually spent the British taxpayers' money on? Well, after a quick internet search, I found they're buying things like e-scooters, quad bikes, motorcycles, cars and even helicopters. It sounds like they're having a great time, not that transport is their strong point. That's Macron's delegation, and I'm assuming it includes his security detail, blissfully unaware that if you drive off in a car with the boot open, then things will fall out. Another disaster is the deal that our illustrious leader, Keith Stalin, is trying to get with the French. What Two-Tier Kia wants is a one-in, one-out deal with the French, meaning that when people rock up at Dover, either in a small boat or when the Coast Guard have escorted them in, for every person we send back to France, we have to take an illegal who's currently in France, provided that that illegal has family ties to the UK. What could possibly go wrong? How open to abuse would that system be? So there's an official in France saying, "What's your name there, son?" "Mohammed." "No problem." "You've got family in England?" "An uncle in Leicester." "No problem." "What's his name?" "Mohammed." "No problem. Take a seat on the fucking ferry." Or let's imagine a scenario. A man called Adam, because of course we don't know any of these fuckers from Adam. He comes across on a small boat, lands at Dover, he gets detained. The British send him back to France and the French send one of their illegals over here. But Adam's in with the people traffickers, he doesn't have to pay for his crossings. So a couple of days later, he gets on a small boat, comes across to Dover, gets detained, gets sent back to France, and they send us another illegal. By the end of the year, we've got 50 or 60 illegal migrants because Adam enjoys sailing across the channel. Now, if we had a competent leader, he, she, or they, them could say to Mr. Macron, "Emmanuel, first of all, give us our fucking money back, and secondly, if you don't start stopping the boats, then we'll withdraw all of the fishing rights for French boats in British waters. There would be a riot in France overnight, and then the gendarmes might have to start doing their fucking jobs." And sorry to come across as a bit right-wing, but the young men who come here illegally to live in hotels and eventually go on to social housing, when they're in France, they aren't in luxury hotels, they're living in tents. Why can't we do the same thing here? Remove some of that pull to come to the UK. Get some remote Scottish island, put 50,000 tents on it, bust them all up there, obviously a bit of sailing as well, and tell them, right, you'll get a food delivery once a week, let's see how long it takes for this to go fucking Lord of the Flies. Anyone who's undocumented, stick them straight on a boat and piss them off back to France. And it's not about being cruel for the sake of it, but stop the benefits and the boats will stop. These aren't the doctors and engineers we were promised in the early days of multiculturalism. At best, they're low-skilled morons. At worst, they're fully fledged criminals. We've got enough of those already. Although I guess you can't say low-skilled now, there'll be irregularly skilled workers. So manipulating the language won't work. Whether it be the French, the British government, or even His Majesty the King. The people of the UK have fucking had enough. So that was another fun video on what used to be a comedy channel. If you enjoyed it, please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you are subscribed, please check you're still subscribed. YouTube apparently are removing people's subscriptions. If you could leave a like or a comment, that really helps the algorithm. If you would like to support me in making these videos, there are links in the description to buy me a coffee and to my Patreon. And as ever, thanks for watching. Irregular migration, not illegal immigrant. Oh good, there's a small aircraft. Fuck off, Biggles. Is he here for the day? I thought planes moved quicker than that. So the word coming from French President Emmanuel Macron is... It isn't bollocks. That's mine. I guess the issue is, if we got one of the small boats and turned it back so it headed towards the French coastline, the French would probably surrender. So that's Macron's delegation, including, I'm assuming, his security detail, and, fuck it.